Hey everybody, I'm Sari Custer and this is Sari on Science. We're luckily in the studio today over at ABC 15. We just finished up and we want to make sure you all got the full story too on the supermoon that's coming up, the super blue blood moon. Of course, a picture of the moon. This is straight out of my office. It's such an amazing thing to see. A beautiful, beautiful moon, and when we're talking about the moon and the blue blood moon, if you've heard once in a blue moon, that's a phrase everybody uses, but what does it really mean? It means something is rare, and this full moon that's coming up January 31st is rare because it's the second full moon in a month. That makes it a blue moon. It has nothing to do with the color, just the rarity. So that covers the blue. How about starting with the first part, the super? And for that, we've got to understand how the moon travels around the Earth. So if this basketball is our sun, here we've got the Earth. Of course, this isn't to scale, but here's our moon. As the moon is our satellite traveling around the Earth, the sun's rays reflect off of it, and that's what we see as moonlight. And in some parts, we see the full face of the moon with reflection of the sun, and that's a full moon. Now, what most people don't know is that the path of the moon is actually elliptical, it's not round. So sometimes it's a little further away from the Earth, and sometimes it's a little closer. And when we get to that closer part and a full moon, it becomes a supermoon. So we're going to see the moon as 14% bigger and 30% brighter during the supermoon. Now what makes this particular super blue blood moon a blood moon and very special is that as it's a full moon, it's going to pass through an eclipse. So here we go, here's our sun, the Earth, and our moon's traveling around the Earth. The Earth sometimes blocks out the sun's rays, just like during that full eclipse we saw back in August, but also with that path of the moon, it's tilted. It's not always in the same path. It's tilted and it goes down and around. So sometimes the moon's up here out of that shadow and sometimes it's down here out of that shadow. But this time, on the 31st, it's going to be in that shadow. So when we have the full moon passing through the eclipse, so passing through that shadow of the Earth in the sun's way, we're going to see some of that sunlight leak around the Earth through the atmosphere and it's going to appear red, kind of like when you see the sunlight red at sunset, and the moon is going to reflect that light and appear red, so a blood moon. So for those of us here in Phoenix, our best viewing is going to be actually at moonset, so about 6:30 in the morning is when we're going to see it best. But check out your local, check out NASA time and date to find out what your local best viewing is going to be. So, all right, that's all about the moon and why it is a super blue blood moon, super rare opportunity. And if you're outside, your eyes are probably the best to view it. So either at moonrise or moonset, those are your best opportunities. And if you've got a pair of binoculars, that's going to work for you too. You don't need any special equipment. If you've got a telescope, great. But if you've got a regular pair of binoculars, probably going to be the best way to view the moon. And as you can see, or if you've ever looked at the moon before, you know it has these beautiful markings, these pock marks, all impact craters on the moon, and that's what gives it its shape. So we're going to end here with something you can do at home to explore a little bit more about how impact craters happen and what you can learn from them. So here we've got a kiddie pool, and it's full of flour. So if you're at home, you don't have to use anything this big. You can use a plate or a bowl, whatever container you have. Fill it with some flour. And as you can tell, we've also been playing with this already today. But one of the best things you can do is then sprinkle some cocoa powder on top. Again, these are things you just have in the kitchen already. If you've got iron filings, you can use those too because you can use a magnet later to pick it all out and start again. But putting the dark layer on top is going to let you see where things spray a little bit more. So what do I mean? Let's check it out. I have an array of different objects. These were just things we had laying around the Science Center. I've got a softball, tennis ball, pool ball, ping pong ball, and of course, a nice angular rock. So let's see how some of these work. You're gonna go ahead and drop these in. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Whoa! So check out this impact crater. You can see here the depression in the soil. We've moved that nice layer of cocoa powder off the top so we can see underneath it, and it had lots of spray too. Let's see another one. That one was smaller. And you can play with different weights, masses, sizes, whatever. Woo, that was a good one. That was a pool ball. And see the difference there with a ping pong ball. That one didn't go far. And you can even explore where there might be some really good meteorite impacts or craters near you. We've got some great ones here in Arizona to explore. And we hope you get a chance to try this out home. Of course, if you've got questions, we're always available for you at the Science Center. Dorrance Planetarium has shows and information along with experts every single day that can help you explore space science. and get those questions answered. So until next time, I'm Sarah, and this is Sarah on Science, and we'll see you then.